and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit.
Party time!
Look at you lucky ducks. You got a Christmas special and now it's a New Year's special.
Look at all the themes. I'm assuming everything will be themed as much as it was for the Christmas episode, Nelson.
So much so. Actually, I did do a little bit more.
Well,
You'll be impressed.
I am. So, also, right at the top of the show, to reference last episode, we heard the misheard lyric of comments read / comment thread.
Yeah,
in the intro.
Yeah, so I hope you were paying attention.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, it was a pretty big segment of the show.
Yeah. It'd be weird if you tuned out for that entire segment. Let's get this over the way with.
Okay.
Kembo, how was your Christmas?
It was alright. I mean, Christmas is Christmas, isn't it?
Yep. Same.
Yeah. This is not Christmas related, but this is something that happened to me the other day, and I thought it was funny, so I wanted to share it with you.
Yep.
Walked down to the train station, as we often do, living quite near the train station.
Yeah. To buy drugs?
To buy drugs.
Or sell drugs?
To buy drugs, and then go to a different train station and sell the drugs.
Smart.
So I got to the train station, and I walked onto the platform, and there's maybe about 8 or 9 people on the platform.
Yeah.
And the station that we're local to doesn't have like a board or anything like that. You hit a little button and it'll tell you when the train's coming.
Okay,
So anyway, there's about 8 or 9 people there. So I hit the button.
Yeah.
And it said, "There are no trains today. There will be buses replacing all trains. Sorry for the inconvenience." And then I watched 8 or 9 people look up from their phones and look across to me.
They blamed you.
And then they all made their way to the train station.
Oh my god.
And I was wondering how long the longest person had been there.
Oh man.
Without ever checking.
That is actually awesome. That is so awesome. I think it's really funny that I can just imagine everyone looking at you. It's like you definitely caused the problem.
I'm the messenger.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. I'm the messenger that must be shot.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's really funny. Did you make eye contact with anyone?
I walked off pretty smugly.
Yeah.
Being like, well, I won't waste my time.
Yeah, I was the smart one who did that. I would be the guy that continued to stand there defiantly, like, I was just wanting some space to myself. I wasn't waiting for the train. Obviously, I knew about the train thing.
Wanted to stand in this safety zone.
Yeah,
to feel safe. So you're all idiots, not me though.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's not particularly related to anything, but I thought it was worth a share, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, that's brilliant, I say. But let's get into Reddit on Reddit.
Well, the brilliance continues then.
So I'm doing something quite different.
Ooh.
And I hope it pays off. Okay. Because, as we know, things that I've done differently before have not always paid off. So, it was just Christmas. It's the season. It's still the season of giving.
Yes.
So,
obviously,
give me some slack. Is what I'm saying. From you and the listeners.
At Christmas, you cut some turkey. Now it's time to cut Nelson a bit of slack.
Cut me a bit of slack. Okay, so what I've done, I've done 2 things this episode.
You've done 2 things?
2 bloody things, mate.
Jeez, that's double the things you normally do.
Yeah. So the first thing is for all our normal segments like Shower Thoughts, Ask Reddit, and Today I Learned, I went to each of those subreddits and I went to, I sorted it by the top posts. Or top means most upvoted.
Sure.
Of the year.
Right. So we're getting the best of the best.
We're getting the best of the best, theoretically.
Right.
I did try to... there was some that I, like... I know our show well enough to know when something doesn't totally translate, so I've tried to cut that out. That being said, I don't also guarantee that we're going to give good content when it comes time for it. And I also had to skip some that we'd already done as well.
Yeah, so, I was about to ask that. Surely we've covered some of them.
Yeah. So it's not the top of the top. And I also got this list a little while ago. So if you listener want to fact check me later and you're like, hey, that wasn't the top one, then you can get effed. You can get effed. But
for all intents and purposes, this is the top of the year on Reddit that we haven't already covered.
Yeah, top of the year on Reddit. So that was for all the normal segments. But for the Reddit on Reddit segment, I thought I'd play a little game with you, Cambo. So I'm going to basically... so for this segment, what I did is I went to Popular, which is essentially like r/all, like the front page of Reddit,
Sure.
essentially.
Yeah.
And I sorted that by the top of the year. And I decided to come up with some different questions for you.
Okay.
Based on what the top posts were.
Sure.
So it'll be things like which got more upvotes, what featured in what.
I get you.
It's probably not going to be too difficult, I don't think. And obviously, you're on Reddit all the time, so you probably get these 100% correct.
I'm on all the time.
You do a podcast about Reddit.
It would be irresponsible
Yeah.
for me to barely use Reddit.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so my first one is... which was higher in upvotes? Okay. And I'm going to, by the way, credit the Reddit for every post that I've mentioned. So there's going to be a lot of crediting the Reddit.
It's just what we do on this show. We're very respectful.
Yes. So which was higher in upvotes? The first one posted was by Science Moderator. Physicist Stephen Hawking dies aged 76.
Okay.
Or posted by Edgar... Stan Lee has passed away at 95 years old.
Ooh. There's two things that Reddit loves.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is science.
Yep.
The other one is pop culture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a toughie.
Biggie.
I was pretty happy that... Not that both these people died at the time. Yeah. But look, all I'm saying is of good chances that they had both the top.
Does Reddit like more?
I should also maybe say... that there can be multiple posts about the one topic.
Yeah.
So these are the top of those.
Yeah.
But, you know, like there were multiple
sure a lot of
Stephen
people
Hawking
posted,
ones, multiple Stan Lee ones. For reference, if you want, the Stephen Hawking one was in the subreddit Science.
Yep.
And the Stan Lee one, surprisingly, was in the subreddit Ask Reddit.
Okay.
Wasn't even a question.
Was it Stan Lee died today, age 96, question mark?
96? No, statement. So
Okay.
I hope this person's banned forever.
Right. Maybe that will affect the upvotes because people are like, you've posted in the wrong section.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Stan Lee only because I feel like I saw it in more news coverage when it happened, but that doesn't necessarily also translate to just Reddit either. And it was
not as long ago too, which I think is, like Stephen Hawking died much earlier in the year.
Yeah,
but so even just your memory of it could be a little.
You're totally right, and I'm also sure that because I read a lot of comics, I'm probably subscribed to more things as well. For that reason, I'm going to go Stan Lee.
Yep. Incorrect, Michael Campbell.
Yeah.
By the way, this is a point system.
Oh, what?
You're minus 10,000 at the moment.
Jesus. And if I get one right, am I plus 10,000?
Plus 100.
Oh. Oh, boy. Do you have enough of these for me to ever get back? You'd need minus 10,000?
Yeah, you're minus 10,000.
Okay.
You get
It's a
plus
lot of
100
questions.
every time. Yeah.
So-
No, you've already lost, actually.
Reddit does love science.
Okay. This is another one. I in all honesty, right? So I did these a few days ago, and I didn't put a note in the email which one had higher votes.
So I've
just had to remember it.
Wow.
So I hope I don't F this up while we're going through the show and totally ruin the whole premise of this. But I'm pretty sure I remember is what I'm going to say. Because I didn't want you to read the email and then be like, oh, it's
I know the answers.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. This one is by Doramus Jessup, and it was in the subreddit World News. 2 weeks before his inauguration, Donald J. Trump was shown highly classified intelligence indicating that President Vladimir V. Putin of Russia had personally ordered complex cyber attacks to sway the 2016 American election. Or, by Too Shifty for You, in the subreddit GIFs, Trump boards Air Force One with toilet paper stuck to his shoe.
I reckon it's the second one.
Yeah.
I think it's the second one.
You're very confident with that.
Yeah, because I think that's more interesting.
Yes.
Even though one of them literally affects the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
I probably wouldn't read that whole article, but I watched that video.
Well, Cambo, Minus 20,000 points.
Oh, no.
Honestly, I put that one in there as a bit of a trick. Because I definitely would have gone with the toilet paper one as well. Like, what an idiot. It's hilarious.
I've seen the video. It's great.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Really good.
Also, but it made me
if we're just talking about weird things that Trump has done, have you ever seen the video of him getting on the plane with an umbrella? He's got an umbrella. And he's walking up the steps of Air Force One, and instead of putting down the umbrella and shaking it off and taking it in, he does the fully exposed, like what is it, like tented umbrella?
Yeah.
He just puts on the ground and gets in the plane, and it just flies away.
What the? Such a stupid man. Oh my god.
Sorry. Anyway, that was just a tangent. I just thought.
I'm glad you shared. So, I mean, I'm not richer for it. But, yeah, he's just the worst. Anyway, but you know what? I actually thought it was kind of a good thing.
Yes.
The more serious
I was
topic.
about to say, maybe it's good that people are more interested in confirmation of election hacking and whatnot, rather than, oh, guy's got toilet paper on his foot.
It was probably only by like 20,000 upvotes difference. But whatever.
See, here's the thing. It seems that I am underestimating Reddit here.
Yeah,
I keep going because
that's true.
Yeah, okay, so I won't make that mistake.
I won't make that mistake.
But don't trick me, Nelson.
Okay. I have to remember which one has more in this one. I'm pretty sure I know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know. Okay. First one, Too Shifty for You. Oh, it's the same guy.
Hey.
It's the last one. Okay, Too Shifty for You posted in the subreddit GIFs. He also posted in this guy. Get out of the subreddit GIFs, mate, and get a life.
Seems like he's the king of that domain, so I think do you.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
You know what? Who am I to judge? I don't know you. You don't know me. Anyway, okay. Here's what he posted. George Bush sneaks Michelle Obama a piece of candy at his father's funeral.
Yep.
Obviously, his father's funeral was just not that long ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
And the other one is Fari Hits. And he posted in the subreddit GIFs.
Yep.
George W. Bush sneaking a piece of candy to Michelle Obama is warming my heart. But this was at Senator John McCain's funeral. Which came first? I'll let you know. So essentially the same thing. Have you seen these GIFs, by the way?
Yep. I like their friendship.
I know.
It's
like,
nice.
It's so endearing. It's like, wow. They're
like, because they're from opposite political parties as well. So it's quite nice that they have this like wholesome little thing where he keeps giving you lollies.
Yeah. It's such a weird, nice thing. Anyway.
What is the more highbrow of those two? Because they're both kind of a bit fun, but a little bit highbrow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the trick with this one is it's essentially the same thing.
I'm going to go the second one, the John McCain.
You are correct.
Yes,
the John McCain one.
All right, so now I'm just minus 19,900.
Is that what we said? Yeah. Yes. So I thought that was funny.
Cute.
Like the
That's
same
a cute
thing.
little
It was Q1 and
And for those that don't know what we're talking about, I mean, give it a Google.
Google it.
But George Bush has this weird trend. George Bush Jr., the one that's alive.
Not dead.
This weird trend of at public places. He's always spotted giving Michelle Obama like a hard-boiled candy.
Yeah.
It's just a weird little thing that they do.
Yeah. It's really strange. Yeah. But it's like, kind of cute
and
thing.
he's been spotted doing it many times.
Yeah. Okay, here's one that's a little bit different.
Okay.
So I searched through and I had a look at the top subreddit on AWW where it's about cute animals.
Yeah.
So my question, this is multiple choice. Was the top r/or post about a dog, cat, frog, snake, child, or horse?
Okay. Because I have a natural bias towards the dog.
And I would argue that that subreddit has more dog photos or videos and whatever than any other animal.
Right. But
not that I'm trying to sway you either way.
I think you're trying to lead the witness.
No, definitely choose dog. Choose dog.
The most highbrow of those is horse.
Oh, okay. It's
that
majestic.
I feel like a lord would ride a horse. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I keep underestimating Reddit, so I'm going to go the frog.
You are correct. You are correct there. It was about a frog, a very tiny frog. Wait, I think this comes up later. I can't even remember what that's. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that because it sort of does come up later.
More on that later. Actually, it's probably going to be irrelevant anyway.
But yeah, I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah,
this is one of the top posts.
Yeah. It's a pity that we're an audio medium and people can't see the photo.
Well, just buddy Google it. Mate.
Yeah, go to Reddit /
go popular
/
popular first.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, you could just go to that subreddit and then go top popular, and you'd see it. Okay. Think I remember the answer for this one also. The question is, which celebrity post had more upvotes?
Okay.
So, again, it's like, it's totally random posts. I'm not going to tell you what they were about.
Yep.
And one of them it is obviously has had more upvotes than the other.
Yep.
The celebrities are Keanu Reeves, Weird Al, Josh Brolin, or Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, okay. I don't know why, but I feel like Weird Al is a very Reddit kind of a guy.
Okay, yeah. Do you know? Could you have a guess about what? Tell me maybe a bit of your thought process about what the post could be about. I feel like some of these you might get an idea. I feel
like it would be like an altruistic thing that they've done, or like, for instance, I know Paul Rudd. The photo of him went viral not long ago because it was on Halloween and he was with his daughter, and in fact he was dressed as Weird Al.
Really? That's funny.
And his daughter was dressed as the Wasp from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay.
And so he was trending. So I think it might be something like that, like they've been spotted somewhere doing something, or they've done something altruistic.
Yeah.
More than it's like Keanu Reeves in John Wick or something.
Yeah.
Like a clip of that.
Okay.
Though it could be Keanu Reeves was spotted riding a horse with a machine gun on the set of John Wick 3.
That's awesome.
So that could also,
Yeah, it could be up there.
Yeah. Oh boy, Mark
Do you
Zuckerberg.
want the names again?
No,
I
you got
them. Okay.
Yeah, Keanu, Weird Al, Mark Zuckerberg. No, have I missed one?
Yeah, Josh Brolin. What do you think about Mark Zuckerberg? I cut you off.
He's a very controversial figure, and people do like to make fun of him, and he's very memed.
Yes.
And Reddit loves a meme.
Yes.
And
I can confirm the post was about a meme.
Yeah. I will go Mark Zuckerberg.
Convey your disappointment to the world.
Oh, no.
I think he was the last on the list.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. People on Reddit just don't have time of day for him.
Yes. But so the top person was Josh Brolin.
Just Brolin, okay.
Do you know why that might have been?
Was it him with the little kid dressed as Cable?
Nope.
Okay, there's a very popular photo of him with a little kid dressed on his knee, and he's dressed as Cable.
Okay, who's Cable? I don't know who that
It's his character from Deadpool 2.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Shit, I hope I've written down the right name. What is Josh Brolin? What is he acted in? Other stuff?
He's Thanos.
Okay, I've done the right thing.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think it might be about?
Right, so it's obviously Avengers related. Has he commented on something about the snap?
Yes.
Yep.
And more... Okay, whatever, I'm just going to tell you. Okay. I was going to say, we also spoke about it on one of our podcast episodes. Sure. In fact, we titled, I think, the episode after it.
Thanos. Okay, so
Thanos,
it was in
the subreddit Thanos did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And it was when half the people of the subreddit got banned.
Yes.
And he did a little video, and it got posted to the page, and that got the most votes of the celebrities.
I wonder whether he was involved and whether or not he survived.
I don't know. Yeah, that's true.
Actually,
I don't even think it was his account, which is kind of funny. Somebody posted it for him.
Yeah. I know the Russo brothers, the guy that directed Infinity War.
Yeah.
They joined the subreddit.
Did they? Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, I think they didn't survive.
I think
they were bad. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Just for interest's sake, the Keanu Reeves one, it was just a guy saw him on a motorbike at a stoplight. Just took a photo of him and was like, met Keanu Reeves at a stoplight, and that was it. It was nothing interesting.
Cool, good stuff.
Weird Al. Do you know what Weird Al got this year? He received something.
Like a Music Hall of Fame honor.
Yes. Very close.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Hollywood Walk Star.
Yes, he got a Hollywood Star. So it was about that.
Oh, by the way, if you don't know anything about the Hollywood Star,
Yeah.
you should look into the system that you have to go through to get a star
get
in the
it,
Hollywood.
yeah.
In fact, on Netflix, there's a documentary called Starring Adam West, and it's all about people trying to get a star for Adam West from the Batman series, and it shows you the whole process. It costs like $100,000.
Oh my god!
From end to end to get that. Let alone you
Wow.
have to have like people nominate you. You have to have a certain amount of people behind you. You have to pay fees. It's crazy.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
So, was Weird Al like releasing an album or something? He's like, oh, I want the attention. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's like $100,000 worth of marketing. I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, and Mark Zuckerberg's one was when he was being questioned by
the Senate.
The Senate,
Yeah.
and
On Capitol Hill.
so this was a GIF where somebody. It was really fun. I think they called it Mark Zuckerbot. And they had like a little slider at the bottom, and it said "smile," and so they just sort of timed it with his smile. He went from like deadpan to smile, and then to deadpan again. It was really well done. It was really funny. So that's that one.
Josh Brolin wins.
Josh Brolin wins. The last one I have, Cambo, is I'm going to give you the top 3 posts of Reddit of last whole year, and I want you to order them.
Okay,
which you think they were at. Okay, this one is by Patient Bear, and it was posted in the subreddit videos.
Sure.
This is what happens when one company owns dozens of local news stations.
Right, I've seen this video. It's all the news anchors saying the same thing at the same time.
Because I'm tempted to not tell you give any more context other than what it reads. Yeah. So,
it's like a statement they're reading, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I've seen that.
Okay. The next one is by The Diva, and it was posted in the subreddit Funny. My cab driver tonight was so excited to share with me that he'd made the cover of the calendar. I told him I'd help let the world see. Okay. And then the last one is by Footloose Pickle Juice, and it was in r/or, which you already know. It said heat index was 110 degrees, so we offered him a cold drink. He went for a full body soak instead.
Right. I'm assuming.
See, if I hadn't have told you that there was going to be a reference later on, that one would be more mystical. But yes, that was the little frog jumping into a cap of water.
Now, here's what we know.
Yeah.
Is that it made it to the top of r/or.
Yeah.
Certainly. So it's already a winner in a way.
It's already a winner in some ways.
The question is, does that make it more likely or less likely? Because it's kind of already won something, but it's at the top of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Look, as I've mentioned, I keep underestimating Reddit. Yeah. So I think let's put the news at the top, because that's very sophisticated.
Okay, yeah.
And then go
okay.
And then the other one.
Oh, you have got them completely wrong.
No.
The first one was the cab driver.
Right, okay.
It was so strange. And it was like sort of, I don't remember exactly the number of upvotes, right? But his was definitely over 300,000.
Wow.
And I remember the second one was like 200,000. So maybe it was like...
Right.
280,000 or something like that. But still like...
a clear winner.
Yeah. He got up there. So... I thought that was interesting, and it was literally just like there was a New Year calendar, I guess, and so it must have been just at the start of the year, and he's just pulling this kind of funny face on the front of the calendar, and he's holding it up in his cab, and somebody's taken a photo of him. So it's pretty funny because it's not like a totally out there photo. No. It's like a little bit charming, but not anything super crazy. I was really surprised that was
in a way it's kind of nice though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Just like a wholesome post. Yeah, is the one that got
Wholesome does do pretty well on Reddit.
Yeah, that's true. Especially in the subreddit Wholesome.
Yeah.
Then it went to the news one.
Yep.
And then it went to the frog.
I did get them completely wrong.
Yeah, completely wrong.
I couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah. So I think my calculations are correct. You're minus a gazillion. But I hope you and the listener enjoyed that.
I did. That was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit of fun to see what Reddit was like over the years. I might do that, make that like make this a yearly thing.
Yeah, that's good.
I might forget next year. No promises.
If we're getting towards the end of the year and you think we've forgotten, email us.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed it.
We'll be like, next week's the New Year's episode. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, so we are going to get into Today I Learned. So now it's time for Today I Learned. Let's play the intro to that. Today I Learned. This Today I Learned is... so again, this is one of the top Today I Learned of the year. It's by PB Buck 0614. Today I learned that in 1916 there was a proposed amendment to the US Constitution that would put all acts of war to a national vote, and anyone voting yes would have to register as a volunteer for service in the United States Army.
Interesting. Interesting.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, what do you think of that as a system?
I think that's a brilliant system because it works both ways, because you say, well, if the majority of people want to go to war, then you actually have enough volunteers for the war.
Yeah.
But if you have less than half, then you don't have enough volunteers. I know that sort of doesn't make it's very self-explanatory, but I think the point is it's like you don't even have the people willing to go to war as a volunteer if you don't get the right votes. So,
but what I find the most interesting about it, the angle that I come in this from, is politicians that have to vote on war. Yeah. Obviously thinking they'll never have to necessarily serve, but they could profiteer from war. Are then automatically signed up for... Although, the chances of you going isn't 100%.
Yeah,
but still, the idea that some of them might have to actually go, I think, would sway a lot of people not to do it.
Yeah, that's right. Although I'm betting that they put in as a measure that congressmen and women wouldn't have to
an amendment to the amendment.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to go in it because obviously, we're busy doing political stuff. But yeah, it's so interesting. Exactly. Like I feel like the way the world should work now, although I don't really feel like we're going to be at that point of having conscription to wars anymore. But I guess I'm saying that in a time of general relative peace. So what do you reckon would happen if we went to war, and how would you feel about the situation of the prospect of having to go to war, pick up and just go to war and be conscripted? Being selected and going or whatever.
I wouldn't feel great about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
War looks terrifying.
Yeah.
But I think I would hope that I have enough self-pride that if I was randomly picked, I would then just go. Like I don't think I would cower out of it.
Yeah.
But that's easy to say sitting in a lounge room in a time of relative peace.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to tell. But I would think that, especially my dad. In fact, you can see the present my dad got me was an Anzac emblem.
Yeah.
I think there's something in my family's heritage that I would probably be like, well, okay, I got to go.
Yeah, that's right. That's actually a good point. The because obviously my grandfather also fought in the war, so maybe there's like an element of me feeling like I should do that as respect for him in a way. But I think I would be, the thing that I'm worried about if war comes around is that am I fighting on the right side?
Oh, like if you agree with...
Yeah, because like presumably like in
what if we invaded somewhere?
Yeah, in Germany they would have they had conscription as well, right, in World War II. So it wasn't like a choice.
Yeah.
But then they were
And then you had to be
theoretically the bad guys. But obviously they had like their own political reasons and agenda, and to them it was justified. And so it's like, what if we're those people? And obviously we're getting the propaganda that says you're on the right side. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
And sure, theoretically in history we have been because but
history is written by people that win.
Yeah, but the only thing I think in terms of at least the World War II was the fact that like the Holocaust. There's documented evidence, and I'm certain that the UK and Australia and all the allies, I guess, did some bad shit during that war, because that's just what happened.
Yeah.
But not anywhere near as bad as the Holocaust.
But what about something like, say, the Iraq War?
Yeah. Well,
which has been long speculated was started for Americans to gain something, and they kind of politicized something and convinced people of something that wasn't necessarily true or accurate in order to stoke fear to start the war. Because the September 11 attacks is really kind of where it started. And that was an attack from Afghanistan, but then they invaded Iraq.
Yeah, that's right. Because they said the Taliban had gone there, and then Saddam Hussein was involved in like all this mix-up and whatnot. It felt like we just kept getting extra things to be like, oh, and this is bad in that region, so we should fix that. And this is bad in that region, so we should fix that. So that's why I think it would be, if the Iraq War started a world war, and presumably Australia would side with America. US, although it would be interesting if the UK didn't side with America, Australia would be in between a rock and a hard place, I reckon.
Right, yeah.
Because it's like, we're still part of the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
But probably tempted to side with a superpower.
Yeah.
But also, anyway, that's a hypothetical that I think is far more complex than we're really willing to get into. But yeah, if that did go into a world war and we were siding with America, we would think that we're on the right side, and maybe we were, like, maybe we still are. Maybe that all those things that they're saying are relevant and whatever. Like, I feel like I don't even know all the facts, because I think you can. People, there's always conspiracy theories, or not conspiracy theories, but people that are always going to be against, I guess, the decision of the government, and war in general is obviously really bad. But I guess the thing to say is, well, would theoretically there be a bigger terrorist problem in the world if we hadn't, because essentially that's what the war was for.
That's the defense.
And we have had terrorist attacks since, but would it have been worse? And we don't really know exactly.
It could have been chaos had they not.
Yeah, but if the US was to lose that war, and history, was then written by the Iraqis, then the Americans are the really bad assholes that are.
Well, and people do kind of speculate that that's where ISIS even came from. Is that a foreign body just came into their country and took control and told them how things are.
Yeah.
And it kind of radicalized. I mean, it kind of came from Al Qaeda as well.
Yeah.
But it radicalized people that weren't otherwise radicalized.
Yeah.
Being like, well, who are these guys coming into our country and saying what to do? Let's fight back to them. Because to them, let's use a Star Wars metaphor. America is the empire. And they're the rebellion trying to fight off the empire that's coming to try and take over their thing.
Yeah, that's
which is a really scary thought, to think that them thinking they're doing the right thing, or people thinking they were doing the right thing, have actually caused now another terrible thing because of it.
Yeah, that's right. So that's my biggest fear of war.
Yeah.
If it did ever happen and conscription did ever come in, I would just be like, well, I don't know. I'm not confident enough to believe in anyone anymore for anything.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been too educated.
Yeah.
Stupid government, they gave me too much education. Now I've got a mind of my own. It's what they fear the most.
I know.
But yeah, so I don't know. That's my thoughts on the matter.
Anyway, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Okay. Here is another one. This is by Writers Blockchain.
Oh.
Today I learned that Harper Lee's friends gave her a full year's salary for Christmas in 1956 so that she'd be able to take a year off from work to write. Lee used that time to write To Kill a Mockingbird, which has since sold over 30 million copies.
Yeah, okay. I mean, good investment.
Great investment. Well, she maybe didn't pay them back.
I reckon...
Didn't say that.
Because Atticus Finch is a very honourable man in that book.
Yeah.
And that must come from somewhere within Harper Lee.
Yeah.
So,
or that's her release. Like, normally she's a
terrible.
mean bitch.
And she gets all the goodness out in Atticus Finch.
Yeah. She's like, this guy's great.
Yeah.
Nothing like me at all. So... that's a possibility.
Yeah, because you know how they say, like, a writer obviously always puts themselves in a role.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm the prejudiced town people.
Yeah,
that's me.
That's me. Yeah.
Atticus is the villain.
Yeah.
You've read it wrong.
Yeah, you guys are siding for the wrong side. I don't understand. But damn, that's a really bold move from the friends.
Mm.
I mean, because I was thinking about it in, like, this day and age, right? Where... You might
Surely
say,
you've read some of it to be like, oh, this is good.
Well, I was thinking that, like, she must have been writing, whether she started to write To Kill a Mockingbird and then gave it to people and they really loved it and wanted to see the end of it and wanted to support it on that.
Sure.
Or whether she wrote just other stories and were like, oh, you're a really good writer.
Yeah,
maybe
there's something here.
There's something here.
Take a year.
And I thought that is the bolder choice. You're probably right. She probably wrote part of the book and then they were like, okay, this
like
is
an outline or something.
Yeah.
She had the elevator pitch.
Yeah. But I just love the idea. Like, could you imagine us going to any of our friends and be like, can you cover our salaries for a year?
Yeah.
We're doing this podcast. Okay. And we want to do it full time.
We think we got a real shot at this.
Yeah. No one's doing another Reddit podcast, guys.
I mean, some people are, but we've done more.
Yeah, we've done more. We're not more official.
No.
But, you know, we've done more.
Yeah. We've got longevity.
Yeah. Like, I don't think I could convince probably any one of my friends.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. Harper Lee, presumably, we're assuming he had the other writing to show people for them to be like, this is worth the investment. Mm. We have over 100 episodes, but is that going to convince anyone? Because quality matters. We have quantity, sure.
Yeah.
But she must have had quality.
She might. Maybe she just wrote a lot of pages.
That's true.
It's not a very big book, actually.
Yeah,
though,
it's true. It's not.
It's not. So... Probably the quality one.
Here's another thing that pisses me off.
Yeah.
We're talking about authors.
Mm-hmm.
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Wrote The Great Gatsby when he was 24.
What? That's not...
Oh, yeah. I'll just write the great American novel when I'm 24.
Yeah.
What a dick.
It's annoying that you feel like he could convey such a interesting lifestyle with being so young.
Yeah, and like the thing that like... The whole tragedy of Gatsby is like this life had passed him by and he yearns for.
Yeah,
what are you yearning for at 24?
Yeah, that's right. Well, it was written in a younger time, though. Wait, it's probably not that old, is it? Do you know
The Great Gatsby?
Yeah, do you know when it came out?
20s?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it wasn't
because between the wars. Because in the book, he's Nick Carraway's back from the war, but it's the First World War, so presumably it was written before the... So yeah, it must be 20s or 30s.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Jerk.
Yep. Nothing to do with this. Just wanted to air that grievance.
Yeah. No, I bring it on.
Yeah.
We also hate Dr. Zeus. We've spoken about him plenty of times. He's a jerk.
He's a real piece of work. Also, I'm pretty sure Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein when she was like 19.
Yes.
Again, come on, mate.
Also, jerk. I mean, great because.
No, have you ever read Frankenstein?
No,
it's not that good.
Has anybody read Frankenstein? No, not really. Well, you're the only one.
just me and Mary Shelley.
Everybody else just watch the cartoons.
Yeah. Do that because it's not that good.
And the references in like so many things. Does he have a bolt through his neck? Is that a thing? Yeah. No. See, I don't know. That's what I've got in my mind.
Yeah. You got the green monster, the black flat top hair.
Yeah.
The bolts in the neck.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because okay, so this is the other thing I was thinking. Like, sure, it's hard for us to pitch to our friends, hey, we're going to do a podcast, great, but maybe podcast in itself isn't as lucrative. It's harder to like make a solid career of it, just in general,
unless you get Squarespace on board,
and or Casper mattresses. But then I thought, okay, the new agey job is to be a streamer.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that would really... Or even just like YouTube star to some degree.
Yeah, you could do a stream and I'll do a vlog.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you reckon that would be more easy to perhaps convince our friends that... Hey, can you please let us do this?
Yeah, for a year.
They probably already know that we're like a little bit creative. I don't want to turn out and horror. We're pretty amazing.
I mean, we did make all of these theme songs.
Yeah,
except the main one was done by someone else.
Yeah. Except that one.
But we made Ask Reddit.
Yeah, that's right. But I just mean in the sense that, like
we have a creative
we've
spark.
done short films and stuff before, which fits obviously well into YouTube and streaming.
Sure.
So maybe I don't know. Do you reckon we could convince our friends to support us for a year?
No.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at ways to get
even if we
money.
Started up that GoFundMe page. I don't think we're going to have any donations on that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So what you're saying is Harper Lee had it bloody on a silver platter.
Yeah, what I'm saying is we can always sell drugs for money, Cambo.
That's a good point.
You can make so much money selling drugs. I've heard.
From drug deals.
Anyway, let's get into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
Just FYI, this episode is going already pretty long, but I'm not really going to slow down because I feel like it's a special episode.
Sure.
There's New Year's.
Yeah.
So,
If you listen to this at the right time, maybe you'll get Podnapping right on midnight.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Or the end of the episode, maybe.
Or that. Yeah, maybe you'll say, read you later. 2, 1, happy New Year.
Yeah. In fact, try to time that. Because, I mean, the length of the episode.
You'll see the length.
So,
and the theme song's what, like 20 seconds? So account for that.
Yeah, I think it's more like a minute 45 because it goes forever. Anyway, shower thoughts. So I think these shower thoughts are actually in order of number 1, number 2, number 3 of the year. I think. For the majority, at least.
The most thought-provoking post of the year.
Yes. Okay, this first one is by Canada Bar 11. Anxiety is like when video game combat music is playing, but you can't find any enemies.
Yeah, that is that's a really good metaphor.
Yeah,
I think I've also heard it described as so this wasn't anxiety. This was not being able to concentrate.
Okay.
Is like when one of the tabs is playing music and you can't work out which tab it is.
That's really good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
But those are metaphors that instantly give you a picture that everyone recognizes.
Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, that's good. Anxiety. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the ironic thing is that if you're playing a video game and the combat music comes on and you can't find any enemies, you get a bit of anxiety.
Yeah.
Because you can't find them.
Yeah.
But it's okay because the music's playing. You're like, yes, this represents exactly how I feel at this moment because of the reason that I can't find enemies. Anyway, here's another one. This is by Sightless Senshi. Ooh. College students don't want to go to graduation ceremonies, but they go to please their relatives, while relatives don't want to go to to support the students. We should all just be honest and skip that ceremony and go out for pizza.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think most ceremonies are dumb, to be honest.
Yeah. I think it really is just a waiting period for the pizza. Yeah. Like there's always actually when I was younger, what it was there was a Malaysian karaoke restaurant that after a ceremony for any reason we would go to this karaoke restaurant. I have no idea why. Because I grew up like in a Catholic primary school and stuff, I feel like it quite often, and I was baptized and stuff.
Sure.
I feel like it came after those religious ceremonies, like
a mass or something.
or my what is it called? Like first communion and confirmation and stuff.
Right.
And then all my siblings as well. I don't know why specifically it was like the religious events. I think we were
But then you get to go to the karaoke restaurant.
Yeah. Let's go to a karaoke restaurant and forget that Jesus exists. is what happened. It was always really funny. I remember one time going to this restaurant, and I reckon it was after a concert that I did, and I decided this would be a great time to sing the song at the karaoke.
Yeah.
But they didn't have it on the player. And
What was the song?
The song was Somewhere Over the Rainbow. But I remember, I must have been pretty young. I don't know why I still have this memory. But I got up there, asked if I could do this song, and they were like, yeah, sure. I was pretty cute, so I could get away with shit like that when I was younger. And not anymore. I ask people if I can sing, and they say, no, Nelson, get off the stage. This is a concert.
We are the kings of Leon.
Yeah.
How did you get up here?
Yeah. And so I remember like singing lyrics, but I only knew somewhere over the rainbow, way up high.
Yeah.
And I think that's it, literally. So I just
on repeat?
I sung that and then forgot everything else. And because there was no backing track as well, I was like, that's all I remember. And then everybody's clapping and stuff.
Something once in a lullaby.
Yeah, that's right. That's pretty fun. So that's my memories of after ceremonies.
Yeah.
Skip to the food, I say.
Skip to the food. I totally agree.
Okay, here's another one. This is my new egger. Being able to do well in high school without having to put in much effort is actually a big disadvantage later in life. Okay, yeah.
Let's break this down.
I see. You can tell that I didn't really read this one before.
Right. Because this is about work ethic more than anything.
Yeah, I think so. Or I would say motivation, actually.
Right, okay.
Is how I picture it anyway.
Right, yeah. But I mean, I think there are some exceptions to that, surely. Let's say, probably not. I was going to say, let's say musicians, people that are naturally talented at music.
Yeah.
But you're right, it's about, you might be naturally talented, but if you're not motivated.
Yeah. You still have to like put it in the so if you're naturally gifted and you ace through classes because you're like, oh, I don't have to rehearse or anything. Yeah. I've got it nailed.
Yeah.
And then later on in life where you're learning more complex things or people that have tried harder because they're not as good at music and they had to keep like self-motivating and get through failure. I mean, that's like a big part actually, right? I reckon it almost is about failure. It's about accepting failure. And that's actually a really big thing. I know I've spoken about this before, so I won't drag on about it, but Richard Branson in his autobiography talks about how failure was what made him so successful because he was what's the thing where you jumble the words around? Dyslexic. He was dyslexic. And so he had to try doubly as hard as anyone else for everything in his life. Yeah. And he reckoned that's what made him so successful later on because he just kept going.
So do you think he wanted to name his brand something else? Yeah. And they're like, okay, so you've written Virgin here. Yeah. And he was like,
oh, crap.
Yep.
I meant to say Griven. Yeah, maybe. But
they're like, are you sure you want to have your name and the word virgin associated? He's like, yep, I didn't make a mistake. Yep. That's fine. I'm going to try double as hard to make this successful now.
yeah, that's right. And very successful.
Very successful.
You know what? We're the fools. But I've always thought about this and I'm only going to say this on the podcast because I feel awkward saying it anywhere else.
Okay.
But
it's a safe space.
Okay, great. I feel as though I'm probably not really ever going to be that successful because I don't think I am motivated because I think life was so much easier for me. Like I lived such a very privileged life and nothing was really a struggle. And I think I had an education that was good enough that I could, I can get by easily, but I didn't have pressure to try too hard or anything. So like my parents weren't really strict on me, so I felt like I didn't really have to study too much. I would just get sort of passes and things like this. So I don't think I have the motivation really, or it hasn't been built up in me to be super successful at something. And I think that people that are underprivileged in some way, or have certain challenges, are far more likely to exceed me. And you hear it like all the time, right? Like successful people that have gone through like tremendous struggles, whether it's like deep depressions or
I mean, J.K. Rowling is a good example.
Yes,
by all accounts, very kind of poor. People say homeless, but I think she was living in like commission housing and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think she was like necessarily sleeping on the streets or anything. But very, very. She was dealt a rough hand.
Yeah.
But she obviously really, really worked it and was so motivated that now she has some money.
Yeah, that's right. And there's a lot of people I think that have gone through like drug addiction and come out the other side and have been like successful musicians or something like that.
Yeah, Russell Brand, another one.
And Russell Brand's actually a good example. I just feel like you hear a lot of stories about successful people that have gone through some serious hardship, right? And I haven't gone through any of that. And I think it directly relates to this shower thought, this fact that I have never had to motivate or push myself hard enough, so I don't know how to do that almost.
It's similar to the song by Tim Minchin, Rock and Roll Nerd, in which it's a song about how he just had a kind of a privileged middle-class upbringing, and he doesn't have any angst to sing about. That is really bumming him out.
Yeah. I guess that's that. You've summed it up perfectly. That's exactly how I feel. But I do actually also think in terms of weight loss and stuff, I feel like there are often really fit people, and not necessarily this is exclusive, but a lot of fit people that have been quite big in the past. And it's kind of like that thing of
shame's a great motivator.
They had to like push themselves past that point. But it's like I'm always going to be a little bit chubby because like when I was younger, I wasn't. I wasn't obese or anything at all.
So you never had the hardship of being the fat kid.
Of being the fat kid or anything like that. So I don't know, just these like weird things. But I feel really saying this stuff, I feel like an entitled asshole for saying it. So that's why I'm only going to mention it on this podcast and never again.
Okay. Happy New Year!
Okay, should I do...
I feel like we're running pretty late.
We're running pretty late. Okay, let's get into Ask Reddit.
Ask Reddit.
This Ask Reddit is by San69Core. Reddit, how would you feel about a law that bans radio stations from playing commercials with honking/beeping/siren noises in them? Do you know the reason why I put this one in? I don't think it's like super interesting topic of conversation, but it was the most upvoted, which is why I found it so interesting. Because really, I think the upvotes tell the story of obviously how people feel.
Yeah.
But to me, it's kind of like it's a bit of a baiting question. It's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like, don't you think that scammers are bad?
Right? Yeah.
You know, and you're like, well, yeah,
and obviously because like people that are marketers are just using that to get your attention.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
You're probably going to be in the car.
Yeah, that's right. Like
it would be the equivalent of us going like this. You ready, Nelson?
Yep.
Hey Alexa, subscribe to Reddit on Reddit podcast.
That was genius.
Yeah, thank you.
Why have we never done that before?
I couldn't say Google because we have one and it would activate ours. But if you got an Alexa, no, I think
so brilliant.
I tell you why I don't think that'll work, Nelson.
Yeah.
Because have you ever listened to a podcast out loud, or do you listen to it with headphones?
No, in the car I listened to it.
Okay.
So then,
do you have an Alexa?
Alexa's but the Google works on Google phone, right? Like the Pixel.
Yeah, maybe. Should we try it and just set up
We're
ours
gonna
anyway?
we're gonna have to set ours
All right,
off.
all right,
Okay.
you go.
Hey Google, subscribe.
Oh, no.
Oh no! I don't know what you said.
I'll do it.
Alexander's Cigar Merchants is on 570.
And there-
What? Google talked about cigar merchants. Then I bumbled my words. Quick, go, Canada,
That's
go.
how Beaver. Hey, Google, subscribe to Reddit on Reddit podcast.
My apologies.
Okay, so
That didn't
our
work.
Google Home can't do it. I'm betting yours can't either. And also, we had a very long wind up to that. So it's unlikely that you continued to listen to it out loud, knowing that we were trying to con your system into
Okay,
subscribing to
we've
us.
never done this before in the history of the show, but we apologize for that. The thing that we just did.
Yeah, that's right. It's the only time we'll
Yeah,
ever do it.
yeah.
But yeah, my point was like, who's reading this thing going, no, I think honking, beeping, and siren noises in
Are good,
radio ads
yeah.
is great. I love hearing that.
yeah.
So it kind of does annoy me a little bit. Sorry, San69 Core, that it was the most upvoted.
Yeah,
of it,
yeah.
And it
In
was
fact,
just baiting.
I think it's something that when our friend Bill from Escape This Podcast was on the show, and
Yeah.
we had something from the subreddit change my view, or
yeah,
something.
something like that.
And he
yeah.
said what you find is a lot of them are like, I think murder is bad. Change my view.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, no,
Do you know?
we don't want it. That's a good view to have.
Yeah, that's right. Do you know I hate the Change My View subreddit so much because I used to like there were dumb ones like that.
Yeah.
But then occasionally you come across a good one, and I can't think of an example. But the problem I found was a lot of people go to the words and like grammar and the phrasing of the Change My View more than what the Change My View actually is for.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure the mods of that subreddit get angry if you've done Change My View and you don't respond. And so if somebody gives like a really logical explanation because they've used your words against you as to why you should change your view, and you don't really respond with, oh, well, that's not really... If you say, oh, that's not really what I was talking about, I think the mod's like, well, you're not playing this right because...
You're not opening a dialogue.
Yeah. You haven't... it's not in the spirit of the sub. But it's like... I honestly reckon 99%... I don't even know if I've read one where there's been like a good argument for Change My View that's controversial, other than you've just phrased this in a weird way. So I'm going to use that loophole and get out of it. Okay, let's do another Ask Reddit.
Okay.
This one is by... We might do another one after this.
Okay.
Stygian Unknown. In a video game, if you came across an empty room with a health pack, extra ammo, and a save point, you know some serious shit is about to go down. What is the real-life equivalent of this?
Okay.
I would argue
Yeah.
that if I walked into an empty room and there was a first aid kit and a bunch of ammo, I'd be like, oh, some serious shit's going to go down.
That's true. It is quite applicable one-to-one to real life. Except for the save point, obviously. That would be great.
Yeah.
If that was there.
Although maybe, like in some games, a save point is like a bed. So if there was maybe just like a little bed in the corner, I'm like, oh my god, it's all going together. Or a little campfire or something.
There is a sexy version of this.
Oh.
Which is maybe you enter a house, candles going, rose petals, tracing to the bedroom.
Serial killer.
Some shit is about to go down, Nelson. Get that ammo.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do definitely think more of a horror scenario when I think about that. Like it's a
That says more about you.
in the movie Seven. Does he do that in the movie Seven?
Does he?
Oh, he does it. It happens in Dexter, actually, definitely.
Right. The show that you misremembered last week.
Yeah. But I've got it this week. So, there's like rose petals to the front door, and some other serial killers like kill his wife in the bar.
You're right.
So that's where my mind goes when I see that. So
dead woman in the bar.
Yeah, like, oh my god, I'll get home and just start crying. Like, oh, no. Just joking. That happens after sex. But yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I don't know another example. Don't have another example. Maybe if you walk into a room and there's a lot of pies.
What, sweet pies or like savory pies? What are we talking?
Both.
Ooh, a mixture.
Some fruit ones.
Ooh.
That'd be real confusing.
Yeah, some shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Don't know what.
That and a bunch of ammo.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. In every scenario, there's
ammo.
All right. That was good enough. We don't need to do another Ask Reddit, I reckon. So let's get into our new segment, Podnapping.
Oh my god, I'm being podnapped!
Podnapping.
Just quickly, I would argue, Nelson,
Yes.
that once we're in the new year, I would say this is no longer a new segment.
Okay.
Because I think we've done enough of them now.
Yeah, that's fair enough. All right, note it. Next episode.
You've got away with it this time, Nelson.
Oh, phew. One day before. I'm so lucky. Okay, so it's my turn this week for Podnapping.
Yep.
And thank the Lord, Hazim has written in and bailed me out.
Yeah.
Bailed me out / has finally
Done his week.
I think a few weeks overdue, but we'll let it slide.
Yeah, in the spirit of New Year.
In the spirit of New Year. So I'll read his email because he wrote an entire email, and then I'm going to do his Podnapping segment.
Okay.
Gents, so I decided to take your advice to heart and started to dig deep to find some new podcasts to listen to. We should not have done that.
Still, obviously, listen to ours, is it?
Yeah.
That is advice numero uno.
Numero uno. Always listen to ours because we might give you other gems of advice, listen to other podcasts. Okay.
Or if there's ammo about, some shit's about to go down.
Yeah, that's right. And by that, I mean I looked at the most popular podcasts and randomly clicked one about life in New York, where I am. I won't dignify it by naming it, but within 10 seconds of the start of the episode, they were shilling some essential oil. Literally the fastest nope I've ever had with a show. Oh. Yeah, that's...
Hey, I'll be in New York soon. Should I meet up with Hazim?
You should meet up with Hazim.
By the time he hears this, I won't be there anymore.
Oh, okay. And then he continues. Okay. Yeah. Would you believe it?
No.
Yeah, okay. I did pick up on a podcast called Stuff You Should Know.
Oh, yeah.
That's been a good listen.
Yeah, it's a good show.
What's it about?
Oh, each week is different.
Oh, well, whatever. Cambo, you're not good at this, eh? Okay.
I mean, it's in the name, isn't it? It's just some interesting subjects of things you should know.
That's fair enough. The most recent I've listened to was about how search and rescue dog works. Dogs work, yeah. I think you guys can either try and discuss that with no prior knowledge or pick a topic you happen to know a lot about and explain how it works. Happy holidays, boys.
Hey.
Hazim. Thank you, Hazim. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy, all of it.
Happy Hanukkah. Inclusive, Cambo. I am.
I like it. I mean, you missed it.
I miss it.
I think it's early December, isn't it?
Thanksgiving. Miss that one too. Easter.
Early.
I'm early. At least we make each other laugh. All right. Would you like to try to explain how search and rescue dogs work? I mean, I guess it's dogs that go search and then rescue.
Yep. I know nothing about it, but I am happy to do that. Or if you have a backup subject of something that you think we know about that we can explain, I'm also happy to do that.
I think I have one that maybe I could explain just that's slightly interesting about arcade games.
Okay.
But I do know something about the search and rescue dogs that not many people do know.
Okay, let's go with that.
And it's actually the darker side.
Oh, no.
Okay. So this is what happens, right? You think burning house, send in a search and rescue dog.
Not why it's burning.
Not why it's burning, obviously. It's fallen down and stuff.
Yeah. So the remains of a burnt house.
The remains of a burnt house is what I meant. Probably. I think that's what they do. Anyway, they go in, find like a child that's been burnt.
Yeah.
It's trapped under there.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that dog knows to find a child in distress?
I'm assuming they would need to be familiar with.
They
the
need to be
smell.
with it. The amount of children that suffer through the training of rescue dogs is uncanny. They
Right.
put a child in a house,
Yep.
burn the house down, and then, they put it out in time, but not before the floors caved in and the child's fallen underneath, and then they send in the dog.
Yeah, that's true.
And most of the time, because they're training, the dog doesn't get there in time.
Load another child.
They have to.
And also-
they have to chuck another child in.
Also, and this is obviously less valuable than a child's life. What
Yeah.
a waste of a house.
What a waste of a house.
They're wasting so many resources.
I know. It's really a blood market.
Okay, here's the problem, Nelson.
Blood risk.
Because that is obviously true.
Yeah,
What you're saying.
Yeah.
But Hazim would have just learnt that from the stuff
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
So we've just doubled his information.
We've doubled it up.
But
He knows now.
it's good to be peer reviewed.
Yeah. So
So-
he can confirm,
Yeah.
Cambo and Nelson know that this is also a bad industry.
And like most peer reviews, we are actually kind of normally against the Stuff You Know podcast.
Yeah.
So we don't want to admit that they're right.
yeah. I hate them normally.
But
but
enemy of the show.
it's, calling it right now.
Yep.
But obviously that is the truth.
Right.
So the thing that I was going to talk about, which
The arcade games.
I'm hoping it's interesting.
Yeah. You've got my attention with arcade
I honestly just couldn't really think of something that I know a lot about that I could talk about.
Right.
But I remember writing on Reddit one time this, and it piqued the interest of some people, and that was the how arcade machines like claw machines and ticket machines work and their payout system.
Sure.
So
I'm a bit of a layman. Mm-hmm. So let me explain what I think happens.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah.
So I imagine that a claw machine is designed in a way in which it does not pay out until it has earned enough money to then pay out. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yep.
So like a toy, say the value is like $40.
Yep.
And until that machine has earned $40 since its last payout, it won't.
Okay. Good question. Or
Okay.
thought process.
Good
statement.
Right.
Cambo.
And again, that's just my cold logical brain thinking about how that would have to make money.
Yeah, no, that's good. And you've already sort of, I think, surpassed what a lot of people think, which is that
It's a game of chance.
It's
a game of skill.
A game of
Because it's a skill tester.
skill. Well, yes. No, I was going to say more so that people think there's a possibility that an arcade game operator is willing to gamble running at a loss.
Right.
I think that is what a lot of people don't comprehend.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it is obviously any sort of game where you're going to win something, it's obviously going to be in favor of the arcade game operator because otherwise they would just lose. It's a stupid system.
Yeah.
It's like people sort of...
It takes one good person to wipe you out.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why a lot of people put it into the gambling sort of things. They said, it's basically like that. Like it's always in favor of the house.
Yeah.
But here's the interesting thing. So claw machines in particular, there are sort of two types in the way in which it works. Mm-hmm. One is generally the older machines. They probably won't have LED lights. Or if they do, they'll be like repurposed strips or something like that. Yep. Just giving tips for listeners to look out for the older ones. And they, you can change the strength of the claw.
Yep.
And the reason why you can change the strength of the claw, just FYI, because people go, that's dodgy, you can change the strength. It's because there's different sized toys.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So that, like, it makes logical sense that if you've got a smaller toy, you want it to be stronger than if it's a large toy. So the idea is that...
Because I imagine it's not so much the strength, but how much it closes.
There's sort of... no, it's actually the strength, I think. Which kind of...
How rigid it is.
Which kind of impacts how far it closes as well.
Yep.
It's kind of... It's the same mechanic, essentially. There's actually two mechanics. There's actually a strength when the claw hits the bottom of the string, and it grabs a toy.
Yep.
It has a strength for that, and then it lifts up the claw to the top, and then it has a secondary strength. So as it kind of comes up and it's bouncing around a little bit,
Right.
normally the strength will loosen slightly, so that the toy drops. And that's kind of all part of the game, the fun. And in my opinion, those ones, the way it works is actually skill.
Yeah.
That there is nothing else, like the fact that it gets looser at the top and bounces. That's all part of it. That's like you have to. You can't just randomly put the claw anywhere you want and press a button. Like you have to aim it properly, and you have to whatever. So there is skill in that. The next sort of like dodgy step up from that is they can look the same sort of machine. So hopefully you just have got a more honest operator. And those ones, on every like 20th attempt, the strength will be a little bit more than at the bottom and at the top. Yeah. To give you a better chance of getting it. So that one's, they kind of, it's normally a little bit more unfair. So if it isn't that 20th time, your chances are like
super low.
way lower.
Yeah.
And then the most dodgy one, which I hate, and luckily the company I worked for, we didn't have any of these. At least I don't think so. Not the time I was there anyway. And these ones have like flashing LED lights. The super brand new ones. If you see these that are still, probably don't go there.
Mm-hmm. You're right. The company you work for certainly didn't have any new ones.
Yeah, exactly. They really didn't. Yeah. I was made redundant just as a reminder to listeners. Yeah. So these ones, essentially, it calculates exactly how much money is put into the machine. Yep. It calculates exactly how much money the toy is. You sort of program that in when you put in new toys, and then you say what percentage you want to pay it out at, and then when it's ready for a payout, it will grab one like pretty hard. You still sort of have to aim it, but not as much as you'd think.
Interesting.
And it just grabs it and you win. So those ones are super dodgy, and that's really annoying. And in terms of the payout, it is most companies aim for a 25% payout, and that's cost of goods versus revenue. Right. So if a toy costs $25, then the machine will essentially put in $100 before it pays out that one toy. Right. It is the aim, but like I said, the ones that are based a little bit more on skill, they're more likely to, in fact, a tip for people is that if a machine is full of toys, go to that one, because a lot of the time, the ones that are based on pure skill, the claw doesn't normally pick it up completely and then drag it over and drop it. Yeah, those are the more rigged ones. If you see ones do that, that's generally because it's rigged. But to get the like 25% payout on a real skill tester, you pick up a toy from one that's really full, and it kind of bounces its way into the into the chute. But if it's too low, then it can't pick it up, and it can't like bounce in.
So would this maybe be a bit of a hack, right? If you've got one of the middle ones you're talking about that has the every 20th time or whatever. Yeah. If you're standing behind someone in an arcade that's constantly putting coins in, and you're counting how many times they're having, and they get to around 15 times, does your chance then increase, being like, now it'll kind of be like the 20th time if I'd played a few times?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, it's hard to say, because even though the claw tightens, it doesn't mean that they will 100% get it that time. Yeah. So if they stuff it and you just think they might have gone over, maybe it was on the 14th try that it did the harder claw thing, but they just screwed up their angle or something. Yeah. Then you've got another 20 times before you might
that's true.
Go for it. So that's a little bit hard. But there's other machines as well that are a little bit more they normally have the major prizes in it, like an iPad or something like that. Yep. And the way those ones work, the more honest ones essentially work with, it is a game of skill, but it's really extremely hard at the start when there's no money barely put in. Yeah. And then it gets progressively easier the more money is put in. So normally those games, there's like a thing where there's like a millimeter difference that you need to like get something in a hole or whatever. Yep. And so that will be really hard to stop on that millimeter difference. But as it gets slightly easier, it means like you can stop a little bit earlier, and then
It'll adjust.
slightly adjust. So
Yeah.
only like a fraction. And get to that point. But most of the ones with the major prize machines in it are completely dodgy.
Yeah.
And they're just like, you tell the machine that you want it to be, a 25% payout.
And it'll be hundreds of dollars before it pays out.
And it'll be hundreds of dollars before it pays out, because if it's such an expensive prize.
Yeah.
And it gets easier, and that's it. Just to finish up, because I know I've been speaking for a really long time about arcade games, but... there is one that I wanted to talk about that was my most favorite, because it was the most legitimate skill game I've ever seen in an arcade.
Okay.
And if you see it, you should go play it
Right.
in a center. It's one that feeds out tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And essentially it was called Dizzy Chicken. And essentially it was like a spiral hill, right? And it went up, and along the way it had little blue LED lights, or different colored LED lights. And then you had a little handle that you pulled back, and it pushed the ball up the ramp to a certain spot, and up the top it actually registered where the ball got to before it starts going backwards.
Right.
It registers what light it was next to, and depending on what light you got, depending on how many tickets you got. And that one was 100% skill. Like if you could work out how well to pull back the handle, and it would go to the exact same spot if you kept doing it, and if you got really good at it. But the way that they made it balanced so that it was a lot harder to win the jackpot, was they made so there'd be like a jackpot light. One of them would be green, and the rest would be like, yellow and blue, and sort of, so the further off you got from the green, the less tickets you got. So if you got to the green the first time, then the green changes, and you have to get it twice in a row to get the jackpot. The green light changes spot, so you can't always practice getting to the same spot again. You have to change spots. So it made it a completely 100% skill game, and it's the only one that I reckon I've seen that was completely honest and true, and sort of, you still don't get the value of tickets, even if you got really good at it, and you could get the jackpot every time, you're still not getting the amount of money back.
Don't even get Nelson started on tickets.
Don't get me started on tickets. No, but again, it's that idea of like, nobody's going to lose money. In a gaming world, like it's just so stupid for anybody to try start a business where they're going to lose money, or there's a chance of them losing money. Like no business in the freaking world does that. But anyway,
you know what, Nelson, you were correct. That was very interesting.
Is it? Okay, that's good. Yeah. I thought I was hoping some people would like that.
Hopefully, Zim agrees.
Yep. Alrighty. So now we can get into the Ask Me Anything, where listeners of the show, just like you, listener, can write in and ask us anything you want, and we'll bloody answer it.
Yes, I got one here from Danielle.
Okay.
Says, hey guys, and Happy New Year. Here's an easy one. What is your New Year's resolution? Thanks, Danielle.
That is an easy one. Thank you, Danielle.
Yeah.
New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
I kind of have the same one every year.
Okay, what's that?
For the last few years. And my New Year's resolution
Get a better podcast.
is to get a better podcast.
Yeah. You failed so many years in a row.
Well, I now have another podcast, Nelson.
You do?
Don't you ever forget.
Oh my God, you actually succeeded.
It's the podcast whose name we refuse to say on this podcast.
Yeah. Which is legitimately doing better.
Not in my heart, Nelson.
Yeah. Okay, good.
But in the charts,
But in the charts.
My New Year's resolution for the last few years has been make a film. Every year, I'm like, this year, I got to make another film.
Okay, cool. Did you make one this year? Not to rub it in your face if you didn't. I'm just curious.
Did I? I think I did. Did I? When did I make Bite? Was that this year or was that last year?
Nah, I think that was...
Maybe I didn't make one this year.
Oh, this is awkward.
I know. Quicker, let's quickly
make one.
I got a few hours. Maybe I'm confused because I do our friends Goodall and Gallagher.
You do.
I do appear in a lot of their stuff, and maybe I've taken credit for something they've done. I made that.
Yeah. Well, you do help with some of this stuff. Like you've helped with them with editing and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
and you've acted in some. I will allow it. I'll count it. Okay.
That's very generous.
because this is starting to get real awkward.
But yeah, that's generally my New
Do you
Year's
have
resolution.
any ideas of this film that you're going to do this year?
Yep. I got a script, Nelson.
Okay.
Got a bloody
Tell me
script.
about it.
Have you? I don't think I've ever sent it to you. You know what? Listener Amanda has actually read it. She gave
And
me-
I haven't.
apparently not.
Oh, you told me about it, I think. I can't remember what it's about.
So the film I want to make this year, and it will be pretty expensive. So
Yeah.
if
So
people could pay a
donate.
year's salary,
Yeah.
that would be very good. No, it's a short film about Ned Kelly's mother,
Right. Yes.
and about the last time she ever saw her son.
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yes, you did tell me about that.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
it is an interesting side of the story.
Yes.
For international listeners, Ned Kelly. Obviously, I'm pretty sure people know him, but he's the criminal that Australia celebrate.
Yeah. Because like a good old guy, he killed some cops.
Yeah. So there's that. I mean, we are convicts, so it does
That's
make
true.
sense, doesn't it?
But the
okay.
good thing about that is to really do it in the way that we want to do it. It involves renting the old Melbourne jail,
Oh, yeah, nice.
which
It's,
obviously would be
couple of
cheap.
bucks.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or sneak in,
or sneak in,
but then
break
ghosts.
in. They stop people breaking out, but they don't stop people breaking in.
It's probably way easier to break into a jail,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know.
Because the door's probably open inwards.
That's the secret to jail.
You just,
It's one of those doors open inwards, but they're locked from the inside scenarios.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, what's my New Year's resolution? I think I want to maybe mention this in another episode, or maybe it was the episode that we lost. But
Okay, yeah, we do have the Great Lost episode.
the Great Lost episode. But I want to be a little bit more active.
Right.
Not necessarily just go to the gym. I want to go to the gym more as well.
Yeah.
But I want to try and do more, like a bit more hiking,
Yeah.
a little bit more.
I can
like,
tell you, Nelson, this was from
random-
the Lost episode.
It was? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was. Oh, man. Listeners,
Guys,
you missed a
it was-
great bit
it was a good
about,
episode.
about
How
me-
Nelson wanted to go hiking.
So let me explain. I wanted to go hiking. It's just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just on like the weekends, nothing crazy. So I think that's probably my New Year's resolution. And get a better podcast.
Get a better
Or
podcast.
just get better at this one. Either one, I don't mind.
Nah,
So far,
this
we've
one's
failed.
a wreck. Start anew.
Yeah, try to fix this
Yeah.
one, would you? I don't think so. All right, now we have an email that came in from Vin. He's written two. He wrote one.
Came in a couple of weeks ago, actually.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so it did, and we refused to read them.
But we thought as a New Year's treat, this is an email that Vin has sent quite a few times.
yeah.
That he desperately wants us
Well, I'm going to
to
read his other email first because he read two.
Oh,
He
right.
wrote
Yeah,
in
yeah.
two.
Oh, yeah. One of them is late.
One of them is like, yeah. Anyway, he said, "Hi, Nelson and Cambo. Nelson's idea of sending a regional Pokemon is really good. This is because of the
Secret
Reddit
Santa.
Secret Santa,
Which has been sent.
which has been sent
Yeah.
by now.
You got him an ornament.
Yeah, I got him an ornament that said Reddit Secret Santa 2018 award for hardest person to buy for. And then another ornament that was essentially just an ad
For this podcast.
for this podcast that said Reddit on Reddit podcast, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure he'll hang that on his tree.
I'm sure.
Next year, obviously, because he's definitely getting it
True.
after Christmas. I think it was due on the 26th. So, yeah. Anyway, so Nelson's idea of sending regional Pokemon is really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Cameron.
Really good. Okay. He won't go back on those.
Probably not. With the introduction of trading recently, Vin, just by the way, is a huge Pokemon Go fan.
Yes,
He's got a lot of Pokemon. You can create a new account and catch our regional Pokemon, then give the account details to the person to trade. Genius idea mine was. I should also mention that Cambo's idea of a trophy is way better. But why? Because it's funnier, but also regional Pokemon have been unlocked to everyone already, which makes Nelson's idea dumb. Thanks, Vin.
Yeah.
But actually, thank you. I mean, not really because you're too late.
Yeah.
But if you had told me
To
that
be fair-
earlier, I would have genuinely thanked you so that I didn't go to that extent. Love listening to you guys every week, so keep up the average job.
Oh, man.
Kind
That's a real kick in the balls in the end.
yeah. But anyway, let's get to his AMA.
Yeah.
So he wrote another one. He said, "Hi, guys. Been a while since I submitted an AMA, so I thought I would send in a really uncomfortable one to make things interesting." And as Canvas said before, Vin's written in with this question plenty of times, and we've ignored it.
Yeah.
But because Happy New Year,
Happy New Year.
we're going to read it.
Yeah.
What porn category do you look for when you do look for porn?
Okay, look. I feel like I'm going to come off pretty boring here.
Yeah.
But I'm a homepage guy.
Yeah, homepage.
I just look at what's on the homepage. And it really varies. MILFs? Sure.
Yeah. It's
Threesome? Why not?
Yeah, I don't know. I sometimes go by rating. You know,
I sometimes
rating on top.
Nah,
on
you know what I
page.
sometimes do? I sometimes do it by views. 'Cause I'm like, what's everyone watching?
What's everybody watching?
I want to see what's up.
I mean, everybody's rating it like average, but there's so many people watching.
And I always feel like when you go by most watched, I think maybe you get the more vanilla. Because if it's something really fetishized like urination, say,
yeah.
I feel like not as many people will ever watch it.
Yeah.
But
that's right.
your most watch is always a pretty straight up girl and guy.
Yeah.
Back of a van.
Delivering
maybe.
a pizza or something. Yeah. That's
So maybe that makes me boring. It makes me unadventurous with porn. But I do change up the homepage video that I look.
Yeah.
But I don't have a category that's my fallback.
Yeah. I think I'm the same. Yeah. I actually find it interesting because, you know, YouPorn every year, and I'm hoping to read it on Reddit. I imagine they'll do it just after New Year's.
Yeah.
But they release a...
They've already done it, Nelson.
Oh, did they? I
Yeah,
must have
their
missed
list.
it.
Their most searched person this year was Stormy Daniels.
Oh.
Which makes sense, obviously, with the Trump. That was the...
I think she was last year too.
Well, she's a popular lady.
But they always have like really interesting statistics about...
They're really interesting when it comes to data.
Yeah,
they really are.
Like,
because they're very open and sharing with their data.
Right. And that's marketing. You need to know your audience, so they're like tracking everything.
And also the US by far was the most... the country that watched the most.
Yeah.
US, I think India was up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably your Hazim, am I right?
Oh, you dirty dog.
That guy. I'm going to say, so I am definitely a homepage guy.
Yep.
But two things. I'll admit two things.
Yeah.
Recently, I've found that, what's it called? Gone Wild on Reddit.
Gone Wild. Okay.
He's just
tits.
Girls like posting naked photos.
Yeah.
Of
Okay.
stuff. And that's been interesting because it's not really porn.
Yeah.
It's just naked girls. It's very strange.
Right.
And so I've gone there a couple of times, I'll admit.
Yeah.
But also the one that I think is strange and very rarely I'll like have the urge to do this.
But occasionally it will.
But occasionally I'll be like, you know what, today I'm going to do this. I will search hentai.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I've never watched it.
And I'm not even into like anime or anything.
No.
But just occasionally I'm like, I think it's interesting. I like the art form.
Because I've never watched it. But I will admit that if I were to watch it, I would probably be like, it's well animated.
Yeah.
They've really taken their time.
Because
or is it well animated or is it janky?
No, well, I mean, it's well animated, but it is that very like anime style, right? So it's not like it's not super realistic or anything.
Okay, right.
It's kind of a bit cartoonish,
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
It's just the exact same style as any like popular anime, essentially. But yeah, that's just like occasionally I'll play and watch one of those.
There you go, Vin. Now, Vin, tell us what you search.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. Okay, we gave you this. All right, now we want something from you.
Yeah. Or we will assume it's pee-pee.
Yeah. You like a bit of urination? Yeah. So, yep, you can tell us. And that's it. That rounds out our episode and the year.
The whole bloody year.
We talked about porn for the last few minutes.
We went out on a high.
Yeah. Thanks.
We ended 2018 by talking about our porn preferences.
Yeah.
I hope you're happy, Vin.
I hope you're bloody happy, man.
You put a dampener on the whole year.
Yeah.
Next year will be better.
Woo.
Who knows? Maybe we'll change the format. Maybe who knows what we'll do next year?
Who knows? All right, so but thank you, Vin, for adding in, and thank you, Danielle. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
For adding. If you would like to write into us, you can do so. Reddit podcast, READIT podcast at gmail.com.
Yep.
You can also reach us on Facebook,
Yep.
at Twitter,
Ooh.
and our subreddit. They're all READIT podcast. We'd really love it if you could subscribe.
Yeah,
and
maybe
rate us.
that could be your New Year's resolution. Is to subscribe to Reddit.
and rate us if you
Yeah,
haven't.
yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I think you should, right? Don't worry about losing the weight or quitting smoking or anything like that.
No.
Just subscribe
And
and
because it's
rate.
a really easy thing to stick to. You hit the subscribe button,
Yeah.
and then don't unhit it,
Yeah.
and you stick to that resolution. How many people can say that?
It's actually more effort to not
Unsubscribe.
to unsubscribe and to not do it. So think about that. Thanks for listening. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
We'll read you next year.